Mechs have been part of the LEGO world for many years, and the Ninjago theme is certainly the one with the most sets featuring these machines, more than 50 since 2011. This year, in just the first half of the year, there will be at least 5 sets in one go, not counting polybags, and something tells me it won't stop here. But we start with these 5. We have a Mech for Jay, for Aaron, for Sora, for Cole, and for Kai. For the younger ones, we have this 71804, the only set in this semester with a 4 plus parameter, it containing 104 elements and costing €15. It has 3 main constructions: a Mech for Aaron, one of the new characters in Ninjago Dragon's Rising, a flying vehicle, some sort of glider, and a small temple with a rock and a gong. It has some very interesting elements, but what stands out is the shield with a beautiful print, which also appears in the Egg Out the Master Dragon set. The wedge lowers and reveals a magic hammer. It's not Mjolnir, but I'm sure it will also inflict some serious damage. Regarding the minifigures, there are 2, a wolf mask warrior armed with a sword, and a hero, Aaron, with the same outfit as last year, but with headgear similar seen on the other heroes. The glider reminds me of the one used by Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man film. Being a 4 plus, it's actually a set and a construction with lots of elements. However, being a glider, shouldn't the minifigure be standing upright? It feels like you're sitting on a magic carpet. As for the Mech, in shades of yellow, actually light orange, it's perfect for hot summer nights as it has a fan in one hand. Well, of course it's not a fan, but it works so well that it looks like one. The structure is very simple, only the legs are more juniorized. This is clearly a Mech for walking around the house, or if it weren't for the slippers it has on. Next set, and one of the best in terms of content price. I'm talking about 71805 Jay's Mech Battle Pack, a set with 4 minifigures. It has Lloyd, without balaclava, Jay, the only set in this wave to contain this character, and 2 wolf masks, a claw warrior with claws and a guard with a hood and crossbow. With a price point of €10, each figure will cost €2.50, and it even brings more parts to make a Mech. It's very simple, but with several positive features. It is quite resistant, contains 2 1x1 round plate shooters, you can practice target shooting in the wolf mask warriors, and even allows you to place it in several poses, with relative stability. Next we have 71806 Cole's Elemental Earth Mech, the set from this line of mechs with the best price per piece ratio. For €20 we take home this set of 245 elements, containing 2 minifigures, a Wolfpack warrior with sword and Cole, with a new outfit, being the only set so far in this wave where this character appears. As for the Mech, it is relatively shorter than the other 2 of similar size, Aaron's and Kai's, but also bulkier. This is a characteristic that is also associated with Cole's, as he is considered the strongest ninja in the group. Comparing this to the other sets, it didn't seem as agile to me, but it has some good details, such as the placement of the knee pads. The detail I liked the least, in aesthetic terms, was the hammer, which I think could have been better worked on. And honestly, it wasn't even necessary. For Wolf Mask Warrior, without any comparable protection or weapon, he only has to be careful for not being stepped on. We move on to Sora's Mech. Sora's Elemental Tech Mech, costing €20 and 209 elements, and perhaps the one with a more futuristic vibe. Contains 2 minifigures, the usual Wolf Mask Warrior, here with claws, and Sora, in her usual outfit without a balaclava and with a scarf over her mouth. I love the print on the arm. The villain has equipment on his back that allows him to fly, some sort of hang glider with claws. Despite having less elements than Cole's Elemental Earth Mech, this set has more things to build. There is a tree with just over 10 elements, with a transparent piece where you can fit the villain to be able to face Sora's Mech. The problem is that it will only reach his waist at most. The robot is really gigantic comparing to the tree, and I don't think it even tickles it. It is quite flexible, allowing you to place it in several setups without major balancing due to its high legs. There are some details that I really like, for example the blades in the right hand, fitted in a way that really looks like it's being held, and also the protectors on the hips. This, despite being a good detail, makes it impossible for the legs of other mechs to work well here, but I will explain this better later in the video. The last one is possibly my favorite, Kai's Elemental Fire Mech. It will cost 40 euros and has 322 elements containing 4 minifigures. Zane, the only set where he appears in this wave, Kai, the same figure that appears in 71801, another wolf mask warrior, and Jordana, making her debut in LEGO, a character from the second series of Dragon's Rising that has some new printings. After the figures, it's time to start building the mechs. Yes, plural, because in this one there are 2. Starting with the villains, I confess there is something strange. I hope it's related to the animation series, and if so, I understand, but the arms are really too long and in my opinion they don't make any sense. The difference in size is also striking. It seems that Kais can knock this one down with just one blow. And finally we come to the main element of the set and what gives it its name, Kai's Elemental Fire Mech. It's truly imposing, and the flames coming out of his arm, I believe, will scare away any villain that approaches it, and will also be an important aid for the next barbecue we have at home. Another important element for cooking at home is the huge knife, I mean the sword. I have the idea that the sword alone is bigger than the Wolfpack's warrior mech, and that's why it's perfect for cutting very thin ham. Seriously now, I love the way it is attached to the hand, giving the idea that the mech is actually holding it with its claws. I'm not a big fan of the theme, but I know it's appreciated by many, especially younger people. And if I had to give it one to someone, this would probably be my first choice. 4 minifigures, 1 mech for the villains and 1 for our heroes. And it's imposing and clearly visible that he doesn't miss leg day when he goes to the gym. And apart from the biggest set in the line, at least so far, none of the sets have stickers, which is always a plus. As you can see from the back of the box, this set allows you to swap the legs and arms between 2 other sets of these waves, Sora's Elemental Tech Mech and Cole's Elemental Earth Mech. You can already see what I'm going to do, right? Oh, and by the way, I was asked if the neck collar fur element stays completely fixed with the minifigure or if it wobbles a little. And yes, it does wobble. So, are there any fans of the theme? What are your thoughts on these sets and on Dragon's Rising? Will you buy any of these? I hope you liked the review, and if you did, please share and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss other content. Thank you LEGO and Alan for sending the set for review. The opinions on it are my own. And don't forget, play well.